7 seconds in. This is David, the Georgia photographer, and this is the Fellowship of the Aperture Ring. And per usual modus operandi, we're struggling to get going.
No, you just jumped the gun a little bit early tonight.
Oh, well, it says 5:31.
Yeah, but I have that splash screen. That splash screen runs, and all our audios drop, so it can sit there and catch up, and then we can still discuss what we got to do before we go live. But you just went live, just like, hey, how you doing?
Bam!
Gloves are off.
Gloves are off.
What's happening? Are we live?
Yes, we are. We are on the interweb.
Sorry, I wandered off like a big dummy.
I'm trying to get my screens aligned so I don't have the lag. There we go. That's what I want to see, is that right there, and that way I can still see the chat. Oh, come on. Let's see. On this screen. Yes. Now, how do I tell it to do that there? I thought I had it for a second. All right. Hey, everybody. There's Mike Mitchum. Hey, look, Phil Thatch is here.
Yeah. So's Joy, and Heather's here. She hadn't said hello yet.
Hey.
Yeah, there she is. Hi,
there
Heather.
you guys are. Great. Okay. Yeah, we're still sorting things out and figuring out what we're doing. Move this. Come on. Move this. Click on this. Drag it over here. Make it a little taller. And I can see more of the chat. There we go. Now I'm in.
So what are we talking about today, Dave?
First thing on my list is Sony Northrop and his ISO doesn't make noise. Did y'all see that video?
Oh, God, no.
I saw the title of the video, and I flatulated. I farted in your general direction.
I had to watch it. I wanted to see how he pitched it.
Well, it's clickbait. I mean, everybody's going to watch it. It's going to be successful click.
But he got literally 86,000 views in one day. I looked at my channel. In 3 months, I haven't gotten 86,000 views. The clickbait title worked.
1.1 million subscribers. And, including, I'm sure, all three of us,
No, I unsubscribed. It just serves me as videos now because I've watched them, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it blew my mind.
So what did he say does make noise?
Underexposing the image, and that's truly what does it. I mean, I made my own version of that video. Or actually, I didn't do a whole bunch of test shots and crap. I just talked about it violently. I haven't edited my video yet, but what I done was I reviewed his video, and what it boils down to is, he's shooting like one image super underexposed by like 6 or 7 stops, and then one on exposure, and then he drags the underexposed one up in Lightroom till it's exposed, and then he looks in the shadow detail. And if you underexpose the image by 5 stops or however much Lightroom will let you bring it up, then the camera is struggling to put information in those areas. So, it's doing a bunch of complex mathematics to make that happen anyway. And if there's no information there for it to work with, then the noise in the electronic circuitry becomes the information, and it just puts in whatever it can. And, so what he basically said with that video, without saying it, was you need to get it closer in camera than 5 stops underexposed.
With that completely, but also, if you make a photograph and you expose it absolutely correctly, but your ISO for that shot is 52,000 or 51,200, bet you it's noisy even with a correct exposure.
Yes, my XT3 6400 looks like vintage film.
Well, the D810 was really bad for a lot of noise in the shadows too.
Yeah. You had to. You didn't pull the shadows up. You crushed the blacks.
Yeah,
the D810 photos.
Yeah, they did D810. I always exposed to the right. Yeah, that was like one thing I never did with that camera. I learned real quick. It's like, nope, always exposed to the right. Always exposed to the right. I don't care if you're shooting, 64 ISO, exposed to the right.
Yeah.
Do you, Aaron? Do you use blinkies? Do you have blinkies on in one of your review screens?
Blinkies? What are you talking about?
Where when you're looking at the picture and the overexposed area is blinking. Typically they're called blinkies. No, zebras is. I mean, I guess that's similar.
I've got I've got the little warnings up there in Lightroom. They don't blink. They're pretty static.
But, I mean,
yeah.
I'm talking about like when you're in the camera, like when you're out making a picture in the middle of a meadow somewhere, and you chimp.
Nope.
I use blinkies more than I do a histogram.
I really like the histogram. Histogram gives me a good exact idea instead of an exposure meter, going left, right. Exposure meter gets me in the ballpark, but I can look at the overall image and, the light curve of it in the histogram and figure out it. By nature, I always want to expose to the left. I always want to get kind of a darker, moodier image. So it's good. The histogram's good for me.
That's what I use.
It's definitely easier to back up exposure than to add it in post. That is for sure.
Hey, look, TV made it, and is it? I wish I could pronounce your name right.
SE. Let's call it. Let's say SE.
Svante. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm butchering your name, and I apologize. He produced a video, guys. I'm just gonna say it. Y'all need to go watch his video because it's awesome. He did his first video, I think it is, and it is like super well executed. Really nice voiceover, great video. And for him to be European, his English is very clean and good. It's almost like he's got like a Midwest American upbringing. It's really good English. I mean, the video is well made.
That's something that you and I can't say, David.
No, I mean, my English is trash. Dude,
we don't speak.
Y'all should go over to his channel and give him a follow or a subscribe and watch that video, guys. I mean, seriously, it's awesome. He done a really good job on that video. I was really
now I'm on a mission. A mission.
But I gotta plug that in one of my videos so it'll be up in perpetuity. But yeah, he's got that perfect narrator voice. When you hear it, you'll think he's got Morgan Freeman or somebody to do it, but it's him. It's awesome.
Okay, subscribed and bell.
Is Bass in here? Is he actually doing his job tonight?
I haven't seen him yet.
He's on the yard, isn't he?
He's probably cutting the grass. Yeah.
Well, I'll type something in the comments anyway. For him.
Mike says Phil and David speak Southern.
It's funny. I'm more Southern than they are.
I know, you're from Florida.
I'm like a fourth generation Florida cracker. It's like when I grew up, there's like rattlesnakes, cottonmouths on the porch. My whole entire family either raised cattle or did citrus. Like we predated Disney.
How about that?
Yeah, running joke.
Blinkies is a Tony Northrup terminology.
That's why I didn't understand it. Blinkies. What the hell?
Author Morris uses that too, which I commented that, and that's where I learned it.
I when you first said it, I was initially thinking, did Lightcube come out with a new camera flash or something?
No, I mean it's a pretty standard photography term. There he is.
Oh, look. He says he's going to do a Morgan Freeman impersonation in the next video. Nice. All right. But yeah, I wanted to kick around that whole Tony Northrup thing. And the other day, who was it? I like to watch the Frono's Photo News thing because it's kind of entertaining. Because it's just silly. And he was talking about how he was bashing on Nikon, I think, and Pentax as usual, because he gives Pentax grief all the time, even though he's probably never fired a frame on one. But I thought, he's gonna bash on Nikon, and he's filming all of his videos with Z6s.
Oh, well, you remember that post I showed you? He jumped in on was like the Z series users group on Facebook, and the users just tore him up. I mean, they verbally beat him up, and I was just like, oh God, go just delete your post, Poland. But now, the moderator wound up locking it, and then Poland, he posted another post, and and just like, well, blah blah blah. Just, he reminds me of like the Howard Stern of photography.
That's a
good analogy.
That's who Poland reminds me of.
Yeah, if you ever watched any of those podcasts that him and I can't remember the other two guys' names that he kind of has that do them with him. He's got his little right-hand man that would sit at the card table, and then he brought in that other cat that was off camera that worked with him. And
it's Steven. That's the one he's always yelling at during the. Is he the video guy?
Yeah, he's the one that. Yeah, Steven is his right hand. And then you got
Steven's
the other
magic of that channel, because the production of Jared's videos is really, really good, and that is all Steven.
Yeah,
Steven is really, really good.
But those podcasts, they get so foul mouthed in them that I just can't stand to listen to it. It just gets on my nerves. It's like, it's just bad, and. It's like bathroom humor from a sixth grader or, a kindergartner. And it's just, but yeah, you said it right. That was a good analogy, Aaron. That was really good.
If I have one super talent in this world, it's making analogies.
Yeah, your superpower.
And another thing about old Poland, I don't care how big your arms are. You're still 3 feet tall, dude.
Dude, what about Tony and Chelsea's video from the backyard the other day? I had no idea she was that short. You can see in that video, she might be 4'4". She's a little bitty.
She's not that short.
Dude, look at that video, how short she is.
You know what?
She might be 5 foot, maybe.
A few things that I try to do to improve my quality of life is avoid either the Northrop videos and the daily COVID broadcast from the White House. That's how I stay happy.
Yeah, I don't watch any of that.
It'd be fine if just the doctor spoke. But anyway, I stopped watching. Tony said the Z50 was a terrible idea, and they say he's an influencer, and I waited 4 months until I got mine, and now I want to punch him in the face because the Z50's great. He had never even picked one up when he made that video, and I'm still upset about it. So these days, instead of watching Tony Northrup, there's this guy in Georgia who likes to walk around in Chattanooga and look at old houses. I watch his videos.
Zacharias.
No, his name's Dave or something. I don't know. Yeah, I watch his, and I watch Adrian Alford, and I'll watch Adam Gibbs, and I watch, but I don't watch Tony that much anymore. So
yeah. I normally will pass them up now. I gotten kind of, like you said, it's gotten to the point to where they want to sit in their basement studio and talk to the camera. And yeah, we're doing that now, but it's not like it's like they're struggling to come up with something to talk about. And he wants to come up with controversial things because he needs the views. It's more about the views to him is the way it appears.
Talking for the sake of talking.
Yeah, trying to get the views,
a good friend of mine, Bill, down in Florida, once told me, and this was probably one of the wisest words anybody ever told me in my life. He says, words are like currency. The more you use them, the less valuable they become.
That's true. There's a lot of truth in that.
Yep. So the older I get, the less words I use. So when I use them, so when I say something, usually somebody will listen. It's just like, oh, Aaron actually said something. What was he got to say? It must be, worth listening to.
Must be important.
Yeah. Mucho importante here on Telemundo.
I do watch the Photo News Fix, though, because it's really short. And usually it's fairly entertaining, and you'll learn stuff that's going around in the photography community. New things that are happening. You don't have to agree with what Jared says, but usually he'll at least give you some good information. So I do like the Photo News Fix, and I still watch that. But I don't typically watch the Tony Northrup videos as much anymore. I still watch some, but I haven't seen the one in the backyard. I haven't seen the ISO one. I saw the thumbnail and I read the name of it, and I was like, okay, that.
Well, what was funny? What was funny is as soon as that came up, I think Ken Wheeler in a span of like 24 hours posted 3 videos about ISO, which Ken was right about everything.
Wrote on here. Somebody wrote in the comments that angry photographer. That's Ken Wheeler, right?
Yeah, that's Ken Wheeler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody wrote that the angry photographer tore him up about it, and as well he should. Of course, now Ken said that the Z6 is not a good camera before he'd ever held one in his hand, and I'm in love with mine. So,
Yeah.
It's easy to tear down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's easy to say something's junk without. But I think it's a great camera. So
I like the Z6.
When it first came out, it had some focus issues when it first launched. It did, but that the competitors were able to accomplish. But now that the firmware updates have come out, it's a rock star.
Hudson.
I mean, Sony can still do better. Sony's still got quicker autofocus, but you don't always have to have quick autofocus.
Yeah, Hudson, he just released a video today about the Z6 and Z7s, and he was kind of picking them apart. And he's 100% Nikon guy. I think he's got a couple Sonys that he plays around with, but he's primarily all Nikon. But he came back and revisited his Z6 and Z7 quirks, and some of the stuff was about depth of field preview and trying to some of the autofocus stuff that he could accomplish with the DE850 and the D500. It was pretty good video on that. So I don't know. I just wish Nikon would just step up their game and start fine tuning their firmware releases a little bit more and more frequently.
Yeah, we're getting.
That's the one thing I've been happy about. I mean, I've never had a Nikon camera that make it to version 3.0 on firmware yet.
No, the D850 just got a firmware release, and it was to fix a bug because there were some lenses that couldn't receive a firmware. Because like on the Nikons, like if you're gonna upgrade the Nikon lens firmware, you got to put that on your card on the camera, and then the firmware gets updated.
It through the camera.
Yeah, it routes it through the camera first. Well, there was a bug in the 850 with some of the lenses that wouldn't update the firmware, so they fixed it with firmware patch for the D850, and that was it. And I'm just like going,
and that's the way my D810 was. It might have had 2 updates in the whole time I've owned it, and the second one was for some kind of bizarre. It wasn't even a problem. It was activating like a language or some crap that I didn't even need, and I only did it just because. If you.
Sure, yeah, I like to stay on the latest version.
Don't you have to do Nikons in series? You got to do them all.
No, you can skip.
Can you?
Not on the old ones.
Really?
Yeah, well, at least to my understanding that you had to do your firmware updates sequentially.
In order.
I have never had that. Never had that with any of my Nikons. I've always been able to install the latest firmware, even if I wasn't on the latest firmware. But here's my point about the Z series. The 810, I'm looking at it now on my other screen here. Its current version that Aaron was just talking about is version 1.10. So it's never had a major update. The Z series is on version 3. So it's had 2 major feature adding, not just bug fixes. It's had 2 major updates. So, here's to version 4, and whenever it comes, I'm really
Yeah.
happy with the firmware updates for the full frame Z series cameras. Very much so.
Yeah, because like Aaron was saying, and you too, is you just didn't see them for the DSLRs. They just didn't come, and I was kind of skeptical that they were going to do it for the mirrorless. That was one of the reasons I sat on my money about getting that Z6 for a year. Was I wanted to see how they was going to support it. Were they going to support it like the DSLRs? If so, I'm just going to shoot my D810.
Yeah, I think version 2 was out by the time you finally got your Z6, right?
Mm-hmm. And when I got it, version 3 came out like I had just got the camera, and I think version 3. Well, no, version 2 came out, and it had the improved eye detect autofocus. The version 3 had the animal stuff, didn't it?
Right, that's right.
Yeah. Back in December, version 2 had just dropped, so I literally. It might have been out a couple of weeks by the time I got mine. So the first thing I done was took it out of the box, downloaded the firmware to the memory card, put it in the camera right out of the chute, updated the firmware first thing, and immediately got new widgets. But yeah, I mean, my Z6, the focus on it blows my mind. It's insane.
It's
and then,
good.
Yeah,
it's not not the fastest, and I still don't think it's great for birds in flight. If there's a bird in the air and you point your Z6 and your 500 millimeter lens at it, and if it misses it, it's not going to find it. It's just not. You need to be pre-focused pretty close to where that bird's going to be, and then you can probably nail it, and it'll stay on it. But buddy, if you're a little bit off and you miss that thing, it's not coming back. Get your D500.
About to say D850, D500, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Yeah. The Z6 is just a good kind of, and I'm kind of glad I got the Z6 over the Z7 because I'm still not I don't really, I'm still holding on to my 850. I love that camera too much. But the Z6 is a good little kind of compromise camera. That's kind of like that. That's kind of like the D650 or something. 650? Is that 610? Which one am I thinking of?
The 610.
Yeah, the 610. It's right in there. It's good. It's a good enough camera. I kind of like that 24 megapixel on the full frame because that means I'm not going to be running into resolution issues with like older lenses.
Right. And on top of that, since it's full frame sensor and it's 24 megapixels, you have huge photo sights. So you get lots of low light capability out of it.
Northrop says that doesn't matter.
Oh, Lord.
Northrop is not a...
So welcome to the Northrop bashing show today. I hope you...
Tony, if you're watching this stream, check in.
First of all, he's not watching this stream, but if he was, it doesn't matter.
Somebody go tell him.
I mean, the guy's a good.
What else is on your list, Dave? Wait a minute, Aaron had something.
Oh, I was going to say the guy's actually a good photographer. It's just when he starts talking about technical stuff, he needs to be quiet.
I really think Chelsea's a better photographer than he is, all kidding aside.
I don't know.
He's a better portrait photographer, but he's a better technical photographer.
Yeah, but he doesn't need to talk about technology.
Yeah.
I wish he wouldn't talk about business. I'm sick and tired of the doom and gloom about Nikon out of him. They did not invite him. He went to the Z6 and Z7 launch. And, apparently him and Nikon got into it during that, and they haven't invited him back. And now, buddy,
he razzes them pretty hard.
Nikon still makes good stuff. Nikon's not going anywhere. Shut up. What else are we talking about, Dave? What's on the agenda?
I want to jump into the photo submissions from last week next, and go ahead and get that moving. Because
that's great.
we have some time sensitive issues that we may be running into today because I think you might have to bail out pretty soon. So I'd like to go
Yeah,
ahead and roll those.
I might have to go to work. I mean, not physically go to work, but I might have. I've got work to do. It's the last day of the month. I'm in the car
There are,
business.
there are literally chickens outside my door.
Yeah.
All right.
And why wouldn't there be?
Yeah.
Let's see how this works then, because
Are you about to cast it?
yeah, I'm about ready. Here we go. We'll start with Phil. What? Oh crap. Here we go.
Hey, look! Looks just like last week's photo.
That doesn't. Look like,
he's
that's
up
not
there.
last week's photo.
That one of the guitar neck was.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
no, yeah,
But-
that was that was my that's my background for. I just threw that up as my monitor background.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if I tab out, if you notice down here on the bottom, you'll see like my bar over there. Yeah, so.
Oh, yeah. Okay. There we go. Look at what we got going here. We have the D800.
I'm trying to use
shot it with
this.
the D800.
Yeah, I shot it with the D800. I'm holding the Z50 and the 500
Okay.
F4 and the FTZ and the 1.4 teleconverter version 2. But yeah, I made that shot with the D800 and I made it with the 105 F2.5. Holy crap, we're back to the guitar.
No, we're not.
But anyway, I know this is supposed to be a still life photo of a camera, but I make still life photos of camera gear all the time to use on my channel, and I was really in the mood to play with off camera flashes, so that's what I did, and I used an SB 700 behind me this time at full power and one to my left at a quarter power, and anyway, it was fun. Heather helped.
I like the
She
rim
held a
lighting.
towel.
Yeah, the background separation looks good. Looks good.
It was a fun. It was a fun. It was hard, because I'm not a good off-camera flash photographer, so it took forever to get everything just right. But and this is, I followed the selfie rules. I pressed the shutter button.
Nice.
So anyway, this is kind of like selfie version 2 with a camera this time. It was fun.
Excellent. What's next?
Not sure.
All right, now.
You have to figure out who this is because I don't really remember, and there was no name in the file of it. But hey, Phil, there's settings up there.
Was it inside a subfolder?
Yes, I think this was one. Yeah, all the DSC ones were in the subfolder.
I think these are TV Smith.
Okay,
There
think
should have been 4 of them.
That sounds about right. I just can't go look because of the slide thing I got going on here.
I'm going to full screen this over on monitor 2 so I can see what's up. Oh, check it out. They got the 51.4 going. I can't tell what the other two are because they're bokeh-fied, as I like to say. But it looks cool.
I like his effect he's put on the whole thing.
It almost looks, what's up with that? It looks like they're floating in the air on some sort of Star Trek transporter or something. It's cool looking.
Or he's got that as a print and he sat that lens on the print. I can't tell. That's a good one. It's got us talking.
Well, so the other 2 lenses are not in the picture. They're on the print.
That's what it looks like to me. But he could have Photoshop cut out around it and put that effect all around it. And masked out the one image lens in the front too.
Now, is this the gentleman that balanced the bird finger on the bird feeder on his finger?
Yeah, that's who it is.
He's creative. Shot it with a D750 and there's that blasted guitar again. It's a pretty picture though. 1/200 f2.5. What lens? Oh, probably a 50 millimeter.
105 f2.5 probably.
It says right he's there. Got it with D750 with a 50 millimeter 1.8.
Yeah. My bad.
50 mil. Okay.
Yeah, that's cool. Nice work.
Yeah. Look at there.
Here's another one. So that's the big brother to our boxing match lens.
Is that the 1.8?
No, it's a 2.8. Yeah, it's a 2.8.
135
2.8.
Because they make a 105 1.8 of about the same vintage as the proverbial boxing match.
Man, I don't know if I'd want to have handle a 135 f1.8. That thing would weigh a ton.
It's not much bigger than the 105.
I think it'd be that heavy. I mean, I
It's a
carry a
stock
500
blaster.
F4. It's going to be like.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. You comparing comparing apples to watermelons there. Okay.
True. But I mean, I wouldn't think that lens would be heavier than a 70 to 200 2.8, which that's kind of watermelons to watermelons, or
Yeah.
apples to apples almost. That's probably a brilliant portrait lens, I would think.
Oh, it is.
Is this TV as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of these are his.
TV's got some cool lenses. No wonder he watches your channel, David, because you've got some cool lenses. I don't know if you got one that cool.
Yeah, he's checking into the chat. He's here. Oh, I love the Nikon camera. Man, if I was going to start shooting film again, it'd be either a Pentax, was that the 4x5, the big medium format shoots the 120 film. I'd either shoot that or I'd shoot either a Nikon F2 or an F3.
I don't know. I've been thinking about like a N90, because that was a really modern.
Electronic.
It was really modern, and it would support screwdriver focus.
Well, now you can get the F6 for nothing. The F5 and F6 were digital, and those things are still available, and you can buy them for pennies on the dollar if you want.
I like this picture.
You know.
What's the? Yeah. I wonder what that lens is in the back. It looks like a push pull.
Yeah, TV. Tell us what it was.
Actually, it's probably like a 200 millimeter Minolta, actually, because I can see that little orange thing on the bottom.
Camera sitting there.
I bet it is. You know, I would never go to film. If film was the only way, I would have never gotten this crazy about photography. I'm way more into computers than chemistry, so film's not in my area. But it's cool. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Nick Carver and those and TV apparently. You know, I respect it, but it's not my thing. Give me a computer and a digital sensor. Oh, I like the way he put the film strip. I mean, that's his, right? That's part of the actual image, the film strip that it's on.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure. I'm about to go look and make sure.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, no, that's him. That's the way the images came.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, that one's TVs as well. Yeah, I love that camera.
Is that sepia we're looking at, maybe?
May just be desaturated somewhat, because if you've got a white background and a black table and a bunch of black lenses, it wouldn't take much to make it sepia.
Yeah. So we're all Nikon in this shot. Well, so maybe that lens on the back right is not a Minolta.
It might be the 70 to 210, because I've got a couple of them. They look a lot like that. They have that big wide focus barrel on them.
Cool though.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right, let's see the next one. Hey, this guy is a really good photographer. Look, he even got the cat in the background. I can give you some interesting backstory on this photo.
I think I recognize that cat. I like the light on that. Is this the thumbnail for this video?
Yes.
Because
I just scaled it down for the thumbnail, but yeah.
Yeah. I've seen this image before.
That it's lit one by daylight from the back. That's my rim light is the sun, and the front is lit with my pocket flashlight to fill in some of the shadows and to make the letters on the front of the lens pop out.
Wonder where you got that idea from.
Yeah, I don't know. This
so
guy
I'm thinking
in Indiana
that aperture is probably wrong.
I'm thinking I had to Photoshop out the piece of dirt that was on the porch. You have to look close. You can find it if you dig deep, but
now take a look at the front glass on David's 105 2.5. See how it has kind of a purple cast to it?
The coating?
Yeah. There's a picture coming up a little bit later, and I want you to remember the purple cast on David when you look at a picture that's coming up. But I really like this, especially. I'm glad you mentioned the cat because I may have been too crazy about looking at the camera because I am a camera nerd. But I like the out of focus cat. It's like I really do. Cool.
But I shot this with the XT3 and a 1957 Argus 50 millimeter f2.8 lens.
Okay, the with your homemade machined adapter.
Yes, that's the one.
Awesome. That is completely
I got it on
awesome.
the camera, and I needed to take a picture, and so I took this photo with that lens. That's how clear that the optics are in that ancient Tessar style lens.
Are you really at 1/2400th of a second and ISO 3200 on this shot?
The reason I was at 3200 was I wanted my shutter speed up because I was trying to freeze the cat and get a nice sharp photo, and it was
Mission
dim.
accomplished.
I was backlit it. I was trying to fill the shadows with a flashlight, and so to expose for the background, that's where that came from.
Time is of the essence.
Mission accomplished. Mission accomplished. I love where it says f1.0. I mean, we know you. What'd you say the aperture of that lens was?
I was shooting at f5.6, I think, at the time.
Gotcha.
5.6, 4 or 5.6. I believe it was 5.6.
Well, it's cool. I like it a bunch.
Yeah, let's see the next one. Look at this. I love the moodiness of it.
Something's on fire.
It's like coming out of the cosmos almost. That's awesome.
I'm pretty sure I know whose this is.
Who sent this one in?
I believe that is
Ray Soldano.
I believe that is Mr. Raymond Soldano.
It says it on the file name, and he even put it down in the bottom of it.
Yeah, he put it in his camera file naming sequence. Yeah, I named all of the images after the person that photographed them, except for TVs.
Now this is, I believe Ray talked to me a little bit about this picture, and I believe this is his first digital camera, this D50. And the smoke that's going by, Ray likes to vape, and that smoke off of his vapor bong coming across the camera. So pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed.
Wait till you see the next one he sent. Cue it up. There, look at that.
So there's another film camera, but I don't think it or that lens works anymore.
At least the lens don't.
Yeah, he said this is actually a lamp that Ray has, but it used to be a camera. If I remember correctly, the lens is a 35 to 70 maybe. But it's actually a lamp.
I think that's pretty cool.
Oh, Raymond, breaking out the vintage gear on us.
Yeah.
That may be the same camera that's in TV's shot.
Yeah, but TV's works.
Yeah, probably so. But it's not a lamp. You can't read by it.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
Still cool though.
Mike Mitchum's pointing out there's a little dust on Ray's mirror in that previous photo.
Yeah, these things happen.
Dude, TV said he bought that Minolta camera in those photos in 1974.
That's awesome. Well, the 51.4 lens that I have and you have came out in 1973. Oh, look at this. It's the lovely Heather Boyd coming at you.
Did someone adjust the color cast on that lens coating?
Nope. That's why I wanted to talk about how yours was purple, because mine is green.
Is it green in regular light?
No, in regular light it's clear. But when you take one of these Walmart lamps and shine it at it,
it turns green.
Yeah. Now she came into, I was working on a video in the computer room, and she came in there and she said, I need one of your lenses, and I need you to close the aperture down to where I can see the aperture blades. And I'm like, okay, this is getting cool. And she's got this notebook that she decided to set the lens on, And when she started working on it, she was using her iPhone, and she had that macro adapter that she had, and that wasn't working. So she took that off, but she still, I started holding the little light that comes with it for, and that wasn't working either. So then I held one of these, and it took a while to get it to where the whole front of the lens was green like that.
Yeah.
And anyway, and then she edited it. There's there's a couple of marks on that lens that she took out in Photoshop, but that's her baby. I just held the freaking light, and she did a great
Wow.
job, I think.
Yes, that's impressive. The only thing I did to mine was I brought up the saturation because it was underexposed on the front of the lens, and I didn't want to put the light straight on it because I didn't want a big glare. So I literally just masked out the front and brought the saturation up a little so you could kind of brighten it with the luminance, so that you could see the purple coating. Because mine does, it has
Yeah.
that purple coating on it.
I like the way you're, and and see, it looks clear. But look, when you in some reflections, you can see the green.
Interesting.
And mine is number 952,395.
952,395.
What's yours?
I would have to go look.
I thought you had it down there with you.
No, Sierra ran off of my
never mind.
Z6.
Oh yes, I forgot. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Never mind.
Yeah.
But anyway, great job,
find
Heather.
that
High
one.
five. Wait a minute. High five over here. Now your high five.
That
is
white
on the
one
live
looks
stream.
suspiciously Canon-ish. This
You
is
know, you
Jordan
can
that
get
got it.
the 70 to 200 VR one like you have. You can get that in white.
That's not.
Yeah,
That's not a Canon. That's a Meade. That's a Meade.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's made by the telescope company.
Oh, okay.
That's cool.
Wow.
Holy crap, George.
That's a 1,000 mm refractor. And then
Oh, it's the mirror lens.
yeah, and then if you look over there, if you look over on the second row from the top, on the far right, he's got another one over there. That's like probably a 500 mil.
Oh wow, yeah, I see it now. Yeah, it looks like my 500 millimeter. I have one.
134. What'd you guys
He's got
get?
a whole row of them mirror lenses in the middle there. At least the one right beside that big telescope lens looks like a mirror lens.
No, those are all standard lenses.
Oh, okay. I see the mirror plate on that one.
Yeah, you see where that big dot is right there in the middle of it.
Not well because you don't really understand what I'm dealing with here. Let me see if I can make this bigger. There we go. Oh, now I can see. I zoomed it up a little more.
Gotcha.
I had my chat window covering up some of it.
I just popped the chat window out.
I did too, and I've got it on top of the Discord. I watch it on Discord because then I don't have the lag.
Yeah, I do. That's why I have two computers. One has the actual stream so I can chat, and the other so I'm not lagging. Cool photo. Nice collection.
TV.
Nice family of glass.
Yes. TV gave me the backstory. That back lens is a Nikon 35 to 105 variable aperture. He said he got it after I did my review. He got his for $45.
How about that? David Saylor's influencer.
Woo!
Influencer. There's some old lenses.
Man, look at that editing. That's beautiful.
Oh God, I was getting a whole bunch of crap doing that one. I was doing that while we were setting the show up.
Yeah. I was scrolling
you were thinking about other options, but you went back to what you did in the first place. And I like the warm tones of it.
Yeah, I've just been kind of dark and warm here the last month or two, I guess. I don't know. It's just kind of how all my pictures are wanting to come out.
Yeah, I like the warm
tones. I really like that one. I love
Look at those ancient freaking lenses. Holy
crap. They're not really that old. Like that black one was probably made in the mid-'80s.
Yeah.
Dude, that's like 40 years ago.
I'm trying to figure out what the focus point is.
Of vintage lenses, it's not that vintage.
It's not like a 1957 Argus.
No, or
Yeah.
like that.
Well, it's old to me,
Yeah.
and I'm older than both of you guys. I would be willing to bet.
That's well. Anyways, that's a little collection of Russian lenses. The back one in there is a hodgepodge of Industar and
Let's see,
Helios.
now it looks like there's some more. Looks like there's some more lenses or something in the background causing
That's
some
actually
interesting shadow.
that's the actual plastic cases for them, the little lens cases.
Oh, the
Ah,
storage
okay.
containers.
Yeah, yeah. So I went out like if I'm gonna get an old vintage lens, I usually try to get it as mint as possible. Like the black one, it's got a really big case and it's got all the original sales receipt and manual.
Oh wow.
And it's all done in Russian. So it's yeah I think I paid a little bit more. You can buy those things for like $20, $30. I paid $50 for it because it was virtually brand new and it had all the paperwork. I'm like, well, it's got a little story behind it.
That's
Nice.
cool. So I'm looking at this photo and I'm looking for the focus point, and I think it might be the 3.5 or the 11 on the lens to the top left.
Yeah, that's it. That's kind of in there.
There's a lot of drifting focus. I would almost like to see this at like f4 or 5.6, but I still like it at f2.8 with the just dreamy out of focusness of it all.
This is a photo that you would see in a coffee shop or a really
Camera shop.
high-end photography store, where they might, you see those really, really boutique style. That's the kind of photo I would see printed like 2 meters wide in a place like that. That's where I envision this photo being, hanging on a wall in like a really upscale coffee house, 2 meters wide. Seriously.
So I'm looking at the front element on all three lenses, and it makes me say, "What did you light this with? Ring lights or something?"
Yeah. I've got like a newer ring light, and it's a 19-inch ring light, and
wow.
it's a variable. I paid like I don't know $70 for it off of Amazon, but it's got a variable light density, so I can make it way dim or I can bring it up really bright. But it's also got a knob on it. I can change the color temperature of the LED ring, so I can make it really kind of.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and I really like that. And then the even other cooler thing is it takes like, it's got two. I can run it off of a DC adapter, plug it in the wall, which is like that. But it's also got it's got two battery ports on the back of it. And it takes like standard Sony video camera batteries, 2 of them on there, and I can run it off of battery for a very long time.
Very nice. What's next?
That was it. No more photos.
Oh no, Joy sent one.
I know
Did
Joy
she?
sent one.
Yeah.
I downloaded everything.
I saved it. It's right here.
Hold on a minute. Let me look. I could be wrong, but I downloaded everything. Out of Dropbox, and I unzipped it, and then I imported it into Lightroom.
I renamed them all to the person. I just emailed it. Check your email. Yeah, I was going through them. There's Ray, Heather's. Yeah, I downloaded them one at a time and then saved them all and put them all in Dropbox. Huh. Man, we can't get this right.
No? Yeah, I didn't even see that one in Dropbox when I downloaded everything. Hold on, I guess we do have one more.
Yeah, put that one in there. No, we have it, Joey. It's there. It's there.
Yeah, just give me a minute.
Yes,
I'll get it in
send
there.
it to my email, georgiaphotog@gmail.com. You got about 5 minutes.
Well, we get another one coming in too?
Yeah, I think he's about to send one over.
Oh, okay. Well, just have him. Yeah, all right.
No, we didn't lose it. Aaron's getting it right now.
Anticipation. Is that Carly Simon? Or is it a Heinz ketchup commercial?
I don't know. You guys are frozen, is what Heather said.
We're frozen?
Yeah, that's true. Both David and I are.
Well, that's weird. Hold on a minute. Oh, there you guys go. Sorry.
Oh. Hi. I used to have a Flickr account, but I don't. I probably still technically do, but I haven't like checked into it in years. Literally, I don't even know if I could get into it at this point.
You should start a Flickr account.
Here we go with that again.
I think you guys should use Blinky. So how about that?
Blinky. We're gonna start a photo sharing site. Call it Blinkies. All the pictures have to be overexposed.
Overexposed in certain spots.
Has to have screenshots of the Blinkies to show it. Yeah, here we go. Well, I thought he was doing it. It was headed that way.
Oh, it is. Hold on a second. Yeah. Dave, don't jump the gun. Quit jumping the gun.
But I like to jump. Ask Phil.
He's a rock hopper. I'm telling you, the trail that I hiked today with my daughter and her boyfriend, that would have been, I would have had, it would have been better if you'd have been there to help me. It was tough. Getting to, what's the name of that? Chestnut Falls? Getting to Chestnut Falls. And I don't know if RD is on here today or not. He may not be. I haven't seen him comment, and apparently he didn't send any pictures, but RD is that's Ron Duran. He's a brilliant waterfall photographer, and I'm sure he's been there and could attest to the difficulty of the climb. Look at that one.
Yeah, isn't that awesome?
It's got an old brownie over there.
I have one of those. Hey, Joy, I got to know, have you shot photos with your Kodak Brownie? Mine's a Target 620. I have to wind film off in the bathroom in pitch black off of 120 spools and rewind it onto the 620 spools so I can shoot photos with it.
Hey, that's the 18-400 in the back there. The Tamron 18-400.
I like how she's actually got the different elevations. Yeah. She actually went to the trouble of putting it together properly.
Imagine, create, focus. Nice. Wonder who that is in the old black and white picture.
Silver. No, can't figure it out. I can tell you how to get the camera out of the case so you can load film. It's super easy. The film advance knob, turn it, and as you're rotating it, pull out, and that'll disengage the clutch on the film advance from the end of the film spool. It'll move out about 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch. You'll feel it come out some. And then once you do that, on the top where the little carry handle is, the one closest to where the lens is at the front, you lift up on it, and it'll unlatch the housing, and you can slide the whole camera out of the box. And that's how you load film. You take it out, load the film, put it back, then you take your pictures.
Give me a freaking digital camera. Holy crap.
Oh, dude. It makes literally, it does, they call them contact prints. It would be about the size of the Instax Mini, maybe a little bigger, printed, but they're on 120 film, so it's a huge negative. I scanned them with a 300 DPI scanner, and they turned out good. I've got some of them on my webpage, but yeah, I developed them in the kitchen sink with one of them little tank things. Was it Kodak D76 developer? I don't remember what. You buy it off of Amazon, but yeah, the picture looked great. Let's see, I'm looking for.
Yes, TV's asking what lens Joy used. Let's see. She had the. Gosh, I don't know.
Tamron.
I wonder if she used her 35 1.8.
She took that with the 150 to 600?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she's got that on her D7500, and both of those things were not in the picture. So
there are times that there's times I go out, and that's the only I'll go out with the 150 to 600, and that's the only lens I'll use. I'll do close up macros with it. Well, not close up. You're more like 10 feet away doing a macro shot with it. But yeah, it's kind of interesting when you walk around. That's your only lens.
Yeah. Well, it forces you to work with what you have and make you think.
Quite a range too.
Well, yeah.
150 to 600.
Plus, it's so big, I don't want to really carry around any more lenses at that point. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to make this work.
Well, that day we went to Morristown, I just took the 20 millimeter on the D810. I shot all my street photography with a 20 millimeter on the D810.
Nah, dude, I'm cool. Give it to Dave or Phil. I appreciate the offer.
That was a 30-second exposure, she said?
Wow.
Holy crap. You must not have a bulldog wandering around the house.
Aaron, check your email, Aaron.
I have trouble with it. I have trouble with
it. Should be another photo from Zvant. I'm assuming I'm pronouncing your name right.
Savante.
Yeah, when you watch his video, he says his name in the really sing-song language of his native tongue, and it sounds so much better than the way I'm butchering it.
So I'm looking forward to looking at this picture, and then what are we going to do, Dave?
I done seen it.
Maybe we should wait to announce what we're going to do next.
Oh, I can go ahead and do that while he's queuing this up. This one's going to hurt, guys. Y'all ready for this?
All ready for this.
Use this camera. You have to use... You can't see it because...
Heather's in.
What are you going to...
one of these.
What are you going to use for a phone?
You have to use your phone camera. That. Take a compelling photo with your smartphone.
If Aaron's listening.
If you don't have a smartphone, you can fall back to a camera. I will not penalize you if you don't have a smartphone because some people don't have one.
Heather's doing this.
Yeah. She kind of gave me the inspiration for it because she takes really compelling photos with a smartphone. She's working with the tools she has to get really compelling photos.
She inspires me every day. You should see. You guys should check out her art that she.
Oh look, Joy's like, I got this.
Yeah, Joy does a lot of iPhone photos around the house too, for sure.
Yeah, most of my food photography is done with my my camera, my phone's camera.
Mike says, "Hurry up, Phil's on his second beer."
Mike, you have not been counting.
Look, Aaron. Who's Aaron Marie?
That's my friend up here in Indiana.
Okay. Cool. Oh, that's the other Aaron. Okay.
Yeah.
She's in. She's in the chat.
Yeah, I know. Nice. That's why I typed out there too.
Nice.
Yeah, she was like, "Oh, well, I can't find my camera." I'm like, "Just go take a picture with your phone." And
yeah.
No, but I mean,
that and today I took a photo. It's on my Instagram. If y'all are following me on Instagram, you know about it.
Here, you want me to pull it up?
If you want to embed it, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I can do that real quick. Hold on a second.
Camera. Get a drink of water there.
It reminds me of an Eddie Money song.
Getting a drink of water there does?
Give me some water.
Oh. But yeah, I think we should be limited by the amount of equipment we carry. I'm thinking about doing a whole YouTube video and shooting everything with my iPhone.
You used to do that, dude.
Well, I used to film all my videos with it, yeah. But
today, while we were hiking, there were some situations. I had both of my vlogging cameras, the GoPro and the Canon M50, but there were some situations where I just couldn't get them, so I pulled out a cell phone. Plus, to get to the waterfall that we went to, there were two creek crossings, and I wanted to make video of us as we walked across the creek because it's fun because it rained last night and the creek was deep. And some of that was done on my daughter's cell phone. because
Nice.
you know,
All
I
right,
need
Dave.
somebody to video me.
I got
and
you.
she's the one that had it. All right, what are we doing, Aaron?
I'm transitioning over to Dave's Instagram
Check
page.
that out. You should go follow that guy. Look at those awesome photos.
Look
Which
at
one?
I like the
That one.
primrose myself.
Open that one up.
Which one? The primrose.
The one, yeah, the very most current.
There you go.
That photo.
Is that an
can you
iPhone
swipe
photo?
left to the subordinate photo under it?
Oh,
That photo was
subordinate
taken
photo.
with my iPhone X, and if you can't, can you get to the picture behind it? Will it let you see it?
That
No,
one?
that's the next one.
Yeah. Is that the one
No,
you
it-
wanted to see?
it's
Oh,
a- it's-
no.
no,
Okay.
it's
No,
a-
wait. Yeah. No. Derpy derp.
That one. That's where that picture was taken at. It's the edge of a parking lot, and those primroses had come up wild in the grass along the edge of the parking lot of a restaurant in Trenton. You know, they're only doing takeouts. We were down there getting some lunch, and I just happened to see them on the edge of the parking lot, and we were waiting on them to finish our order, and I was like, I'm going to go grab a quick photo of those flowers. I didn't know they were primrose. I just saw them in the parking lot, and I was like, I'm going to go make a photo, trying to do something compelling with my iPhone.
Well,
And-
we
that's-
can't
that's
all
one
be
of the-
Heather.
But man, you got to try. Man,
Yeah,
she
we're
sets
good.
the bar high.
We're gonna do it this week. So yeah, we've and I've got some primrose that like I was telling you guys before we went live that I planted around our mailbox, and they're just starting to bloom. So who knows? My cell phone picture may be of primrose, but
Nice.
I wonder, Heather, are you going to send that daisy? Is your photo going to be that amazing daisy photo, or are you going to do something new? She says she's going to do something new. She ain't scared. She ain't scared of nothing.
All right,
I'm for scared.
I'm going to jump into the next thing here, and that is the Nikon Z70. What do y'all think?
Ooh, so we're in
Have-
agreement. It's going to be the Z70.
Haven't heard a thing about it. Hum a few bars.
Think it's going to be the D7000 series replacement camera.
What? So is it
Hold
going
on a
to be so it's going to have to be APS-C with a few more
Mhm.
features than a Z50?
It'll probably have the same button set of the big boy full frames, but with a crop sensor in it. I'm
The
assuming it's
Z50's
going to
got the same button set of the big boy full frames.
Not
No,
really.
it's missing some. The knobs are in
Okay.
the wrong place. They're in different places.
Here, I'll pull it up real quick. You can take a look at it, Phil.
And it just
It's-
moved
it's
the
over-
knob
it's
from one
over at-
side to the other, but it's got the same stuff.
It's over on Nikon
Yeah, but-
Rumors if you want to see it.
Yeah, the D7000, there you go. See, the D7000 had the top display like the full frame cameras. It's basically the old D7000 series was a full frame camera with a crop sensor. You know, and I
I'll
bet
tell
this.
you what, if they make a APS-C camera that's better than a Z50, you can write it down. I'll be pulling one of those to the
Well,
crib.
Phil,
I
hey,
just-
it's got something that if you look real close, it's got the registered battery for it is going to be the EL15C. So it's going to take the same battery types of all of our other Nikons.
So I don't
Is it-
have to buy a second battery. That's nice.
So, but it don't take the Z50 battery. It takes the Z6 battery. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it'll probably run on any EL15. You just won't be able to charge it.
Right. But that EL15 is the full size camera battery, like the D810, the
Yeah,
D7000.
even the D7200's got the 15 series batteries in there, doesn't it?
I mean,
Right.
you can mark it
They-
down. I'll buy that camera unless in the same 12-month period, January to December, they release another full frame. If they drop a Z7S or a Z7 Mark II,
Or a
Z6,
8.
excuse me, then I'll get that. But
I don't
no,
think
I'm
I'll
not.
get the.
I'm not.
I don't know about the full
2000
frame.
is my maximum on a camera. I'm done with $3,500 cameras. That's why I don't have a D850, and that's why I don't have a Z7. I'm 2000. That is my
Well, I
price
mean,
for a camera.
To be honest, for like a lot of the photography that you do, I think a D850 is probably overkill.
Yeah, I mean,
Where do
99%
my
of it.
pictures get posted? Well, they get posted to a 1080p video feed.
See,
Yeah, I don't-
now that's something people need to really, and I'm a big advocate. Print your photos. You know, and then if you walk into a
Mhm.
situation like, you know, but Dave will see this weird little thing in my eyes when I'm out doing landscape stuff. I have the intention when I go see something, it's not to get posted on Instagram or Facebook or Flickr or whatever. I look at my composition, I look at everything, and my final image of like what I'm about ready to take, how's that going to look on a wall? How is that? And that's that I still try to do that every day when I take a picture. How's that going to look on a wall?
Totally
I mean,
respect that, but I mean, how many walls do I have? You know, how many walls do I have? I rarely, if ever, print a photo. And as a matter of fact, the one I took off the wall earlier in this stream and held up. That was made with my D7100. I already had my D500 at the time, but the shutter failed, and I sent it off for warranty repair, and I made that shot with the D7100.
I'm gonna tell you
I
though,
don't
there's
think
a
I
thing
don't think I
called
printed a picture since then. I
there's
might
a thing
print
called
the
rotation,
Greater Falls.
Phil.
Yeah,
There's a
that's
thing called
true, but
and I
you
love
got
to
to
rotate
store a
them.
bunch of them. Yeah, then you got to store a bunch of them. I got, you know,
I lay
you
them
can,
under
you
the
can,
couch.
yeah. Do you really?
Yeah, I stack
I
them
mean,
up and just slide them under the couch. They're, you know, them big 20 by 30s. Yeah, I hide them
yeah.
there.
Tell me this honestly. How many pictures do you guys post print a year? How many pictures do you guys actually take the time to print and frame annually?
I print a lot. I
Oh,
probably, you know, well, I've got a big Canon printer over here, so anytime I find something I really like, I'll print it. And then once
Okay,
I
now you're
print it,
talking. So it sounds like I need to send you some images and some paper and let you go wild
and
with
some
them
money
expensive
for the
ink.
ink. I mean, if you want me to
Yeah,
print you some stuff,
that
you
ink's
can.
got to be crazy expensive.
Well, you know what's crazy is like, you know, around Christmas time, you know, Black Friday, you can buy one of these Canon Pixma Pro 100s like what I have. Great, it's an excellent printer. It'll do, you know, what, 13 by 19. I think that's as big as it'll do. But I can buy it cheaper, brand new with ink, than I can to replace the ink out of season.
That's right. That is
By the whole
exactly.
printer.
I can buy the whole printer with a whole new set of ink cheaper than it would take me to go out and buy another set of ink for it.
Yeah, that's. I always talk about my printer at work in my office. A set of ink will total it.
Oh yeah, the whole ink thing is it's just outrageous.
Mm-hmm.
So with that in mind, I would rather, you know, my buddy Percy, he he goes to a print shop in Cleveland near where I work, Cleveland, Tennessee, and I can always tell when he's been there. He prints a lot of his pictures because they're really near my work. So he'll come by and visit me, and we'll have our own private live stream for 90 minutes in my office talking about photography and but he prints a lot of his stuff as well. And I think Joy prints a lot of hers and has had her stuff displayed in art situations. I'm just not a printer. That's not my thing. It probably should be.
I probably print like Bass Angler. He says he prints about 25 frames. I print about 24 a year. And some of them, and it varies in size. Not all of them are 20 by 30s. I'll only do maybe 3 or 4 20 by 30s in a year. And then they have to be something really special to me. And typically, they may not be the best photo, but it's something that it's a really strong memory for me.
Yeah.
Is why I'll print it. But then I do a lot of 8 by 10s. I print a bunch of 8 by 10s. And occasionally I'll do, like, I just did what's the 18 by 24 or whatever, that mid-size large print. I took a picture of a mountain in Oregon while we was out there, and I printed that photo. We was at an alpaca farm, and I was able to get a good frame of this mountain across a highway, and I had to time it between cars driving by. But I've got this beautiful mountain vista that was just right there across the road. So I set the camera up, took a photo of it on a tripod. But
here, I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to throw something up here. Something that I haven't done yet. But this one's got me interested. This is Exposer. And they do like this weird vinyl printing thing for like doing like large prints. But they've got this weird little, like, if I can show you guys here. Oh, I got all these videos. They got these frames that you can just reuse over and over again. See how it's like an H frame?
Yeah.
So you just buy the print, and if you want to swap out your photo, it pops on and off of it really easy, off that framework.
Huh.
So yeah, as you can
Interesting.
see in there, you can just rotate. You can rotate your video, your photography around. So it's not like
If you bought a 4K 16:9 monitor and hung it over that same count, and you could rotate them like every 5 minutes.
That's true too.
Yeah, but
Don't
then you
have to
gotta
spend
you gotta
any money on
power
the
it.
printing, any money on the paper, and anytime you get a new photo that you like, put it in there.
Then you get to see
you
an 8
guys are right.
megapixel
I
image.
should print more, but I really doubt that I will. I really doubt that I will.
Maybe
And you
that
got
would
some
be a
really
good photo.
printable photos.
That would be a really good photo challenge. Is go out and do something that you're happy with printing and print it.
Yeah.
Joy,
I've used Nations Photo Lab. They printed my eclipse photo.
Yeah, Nations is good.
Yeah. I sent them I think it was a 240 megabyte TIFF file of that because I couldn't, every time it would try to render out the colors in JPEG, it wanted to do steps because the bit depth wasn't there. And I wanted to have that nice fade of the Corona, and it was worrying me. So I printed it. I sent them a TIFF file. They allow you to upload enormous TIFF files.
Yeah, Nations is one of the few that'll let you do that too. It's like there's some of them that are just like, no, you can only do JPEGs, and I'm like, well, yeah, no.
Yeah. The bit depth wasn't there. It looked like rings coming out of the Corona in my eclipse photo, but the TIFF file, it was a nice smooth transition, and it looked like I wanted. So yeah, but that's who printed it. But yeah, dude, Phil, you got photos that I would definitely print if I was you.
Well, the Z50 photo with the kit lens of Greeter Falls is the one that actually might get printed. That picture is maybe it's definitely number one this year so far. By a wide margin.
If you're really worried about printing, you can always send something to Walgreens. And believe it or not, Walgreens does an okay job at printing. I've had them print, some big stuff. Just try them out. I'm like going, how good's Walgreens? Like if I'm
worried about printing, I'm just not motivated to print.
I don't. I'm not getting that from you.
I send a lot of my stuff to Shutterfly.
That picture looks cool on my 27-inch monitor, so I'm like, and then done.
Yeah. I'm
definitely not taking down Heather's master's degree diploma to hang up a picture. And there's only so many walls in this house.
I don't have a master's degree, so I got room for photos.
Point for David. Point for David.
I'm still giving that point to Heather.
My wife Teresa doesn't have a master's. She has some kind of college degree in accounting, but I don't know what it is. But she does have her certificate where she got her 4th Dan in karate. She's a 4th degree black belt. It's a huge certificate, and all these other masters signed it. So we framed it, and hung it in the living room.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's a pretty strong accomplishment to make your 4th Dan. I never made it that far.
I don't even know what a Dan is. I know what a Steely Dan is.
A Dan in karate is a degree. It's a degree in the black belts. Once you get to black belt, that's 1st Dan. 2nd Dan is 2nd degree black. 3rd Dan is 3rd degree, all the way to 10th Dan, which is master of the system or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I didn't know you could print at Amazon. Wow.
Yeah, Amazon will do prints. Google will do prints now. You can do, like if you do your storage up on Google will let you do prints out of there.
Huh. I'm reading James Oliver's post. That's interesting.
Yeah. I was like, holy crap, we went silent.
Yeah. Woody Mallory's joined us. Woody sent me a photo project that he's working on, shooting covered bridges, and he sent me a few of his photos. if we have some time here in a minute, we'll share some of them. They're in a file folder.
Oh,
Aaron
those
has
were the
access
ones
to.
that you told me not to grab.
Yeah, unless Woody come on and we had time. I wanted to
Gotcha.
make sure we got through the project photos first.
Yeah, give me a minute.
Yeah,
I can get them.
Well, while he's working on that, Dave, do you have anything left on your piece of paper?
No, we talked about the 105. Oh, we didn't really talk about the 105 shootout all that much. We gotta come up with a challenge since all three of us have a Z6, all three of us have an F to Z adapter, and all three of us have the 105 f2.5 manual lens. Look, see, Phil has his in frame. Mine's currently in Chattanooga doing self-portraiture. But
And I'm
we
busy.
got to do something where we do a photo of something, and we all need to shoot the same subject, and then report back next week with our photos.
Oh, the same subject. How are we going to do that? We're in 3 states.
But we all got to either agree it's got to be a wood duck or it's got to be a Coca-Cola
wood duck?
can.
You can't shoot a wood duck with this.
Do you know how hard it is to find a wood duck up here?
No, see the challenge just got interesting. A wood duck with a Coke.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and while we're at it, we might as well go ahead and shoot. I mean,
the spaceships in Roswell, right?
Yeah. There you go. Very good. Very good. Yeah, you can't shoot a wood duck with this lens, not unless it's a captive wood duck
or dead one.
Yeah. In a cage.
Yeah, dead one in a box.
Yeah. It's on somebody's dinner table.
Yeah, let me tell you, a wood duck you need a lot of horsepower for a wood duck, and this lens is nice and cool. This lens is cooler than it is nice. It may be the coolest.
You gotta get
lens.
close. Just listen to Tony Northrup, and just get close.
You do, but you come on. Tell you what, Dave, go get a kingfisher picture with a 105 on a full frame.
What is that little bird that's blue and white that stands on the side of the tree upside down? It's not a woodpecker. It's like some other. Is it
a blue jay?
Nuthatch. It's the one it'll eat those black seeds.
Nuthatch.
Yeah.
They're an upside down bird, a nuthatch.
Yeah, they'll stand on the side of the tree upside down. We should take pictures of those with the 105. It'll be like a little speck.
I think in the interest of reality, we should shoot whatever we want.
All right, you ready for Woody's photos?
Yeah.
Yes.
Bring them up.
Woody has been doing a photo project of shooting covered bridges, and he's also got some portraiture that he's done as well in these photos he sent me. They're interesting, so I thought I would like to share them if you'd give me the go-ahead, and he said it was okay. He wrote back and told me it was okay to share them. But yeah, these are in Tennessee and Kentucky, I think he said. Let me look in the email. He'll probably answer before I get this looked up. And since I'm on right here. Let's see. There we go. Current theme, covered bridges and waterfalls and Virginia love signs as the project.
That's the Humpback Bridge of Notre Dame. That's cool, the way it's arched like that.
It is, isn't it? I mean, these are cool.
It really is. I guess I wonder if the arch of the bridge is structurally significant,
or if it may be from the lens. Maybe he'll chime in. He's here.
What?
No, that bridge is shaped like that. That's why it's named that.
Yeah, Humpback. No, I mean,
Oh, I see it now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's well, I mean, it could be, just done that way, but I mean, structurally, that little bit of an arch will give it more strength, or a little bit more leeway if something heavy was going to go through it.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful photograph, no matter what.
And I'll be honest with you, it's hard to get a good photo of a covered bridge nowadays. We went and looked at a couple. What was it? Was it me and you? No, it was me and Teresa. Somebody I was with, we went and looked at one up in Tennessee, and
we went and looked at one, but it wasn't really.
Yeah, it was me and you, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was on that little side road up in Morristown. Yeah, and the composition was just terrible. There was no way to get a good photo of this bridge, and it looked like anything. it was a nice bridge, but all the terrain around it was just busy and cluttered. It just wasn't going to make a good photo. It's hard to get good compositions of those.
That's the nice lens he used. Look, he used the 17 to 55 2.8. I think that's DX specific lens, and
Yeah,
a nice one. A nice one. I bet it's nano crystal coated.
probably. Unlike this 24 millimeter f2.8 I'm using the video with tonight.
And I'm guessing with the 140 ISO, I bet he was in auto ISO on that shot.
He says it's a humpback is in Covington, Virginia, and it's humped for less flood damage.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah.
You would think that the water level would be equal all the way across the bridge.
No.
You don't think water stays level?
Nope. I've seen it. Like when we had like this past winter, we had like some major kind of flooding out this way. It was like it was, I don't know, 3-4 months ago.
And the water was deeper in the middle than on the sides?
Yeah, it was. And I was actually out there with the Z50. It was like one of the first days I went out with the Z50, and the water. There was so much water coming through the channel. The center of the creek was probably a foot or two higher than the edges of the creek. It was crazy. I've never seen it before.
Because the force of the water is running down the channel, so it lifts the water up. Yeah, that makes sense. Now, thinking about it, it makes sense.
Yeah, don't have a degree in what hydrodynamics or anything, but yeah, it was kind of crazy to look
at. You stayed at a Holiday Inn last night, didn't you?
Yeah, Holiday Inn Express. You would think it would be deeper on the sides than in the middle. What do I know? What's the next picture? Let's see the next bridge. Dog, you are driving me insane. She's scratching the cone. The cone. There's no feeling receptors in the cone, but she's scratching. She's a great dog. We're happy to have her.
What's the next picture? Waterfall.
Yeah, it's waterfall.
It's beautiful. I love how the trees give it depth. And the water's just peeking out, nice flow. It's gorgeous. This kind of reminds me of that waterfall we went to the first time we did the Fellowship of the Aperture Ring up in the Smokies, Aaron. Remember we stopped on the side of the road?
What, at the Sinks or that second one?
Yeah, at the Sinks, the very first year.
Yeah, the Sinks. Yeah, the Sinks. I like the Sinks. That's a cool place.
It is. It makes for an interesting photo, especially with that bridge right there at the top of it. Yeah,
easy to get to. Not much hiking involved.
There's a lot of climbing involved.
Yeah, you do a lot of climbing around the rocks. That's true.
I mean, you can get there and look at it, but if you're trying to find a composition there, you're gonna have to do some climbing and crawling and stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah, the waterfall I went to today involved 5 miles of hiking and climbing. It was crazy. That's cool though. I like the foreground. Got a little lots of stuff.
We'll see you soon, Joey. Thank you for being on the stream.
Oh, have a good night. Joey's getting out of here.
Yeah, she's got to go.
We'll talk to you next week, or I will catch you in passing on Facebook somewhere.
I'm gonna have to try that whole Amazon printing, see if I can get a decent print for reasonable money.
Amazon Photo, or like if you got an Amazon Prime account, you can do. You get like, God, it's a bunch of storage. For photography, and I do Amazon for some of my my backups, but I also do it like when I go do well, now I can do it through SmugMug too, but like if I gotta send, like if I go take pictures of for somebody, and I gotta send them a package, I'll build them a folder and I'll dump all those photos up there, and I'll send them a link to it too, so it's good for doing like private photo sharing.
Kind of like Google Photos. I do the same thing. I'll make a folder.
I think I like Amazon a little bit better though.
Really?
Yeah, Google, depending on how many photos you got, they'll actually compress and stuff like that.
Oh.
Amazon.
What's the next photo?
Another recovered bridge.
Yeah, put it up there. Now, to me, see, this is one where you get the composition to push distracting elements out of the frame. And you can see that the image is really nice.
Cool. I like the flowers in the foreground. All these are with the D7100. You know, I bought my D7100 during a Black Friday sale on Amazon for like $800 in the days when that camera was $1,200. I wasn't even in the market for a camera, but I was like, okay, you're gonna give me the camera for $400 off on a one-day only sale, and then it went back to the high price for months and months. I'll take it. A 10 to 24. I wonder if that is is that a Nikon lens, or is that?
It could be. It could be a
Canon?
Sigma. There's a bunch of them make that 10 to 24.
That's a
DX
DX
lenses.
lens, isn't it?
Yeah, but Sigma makes one. I think Tamron makes one too.
That's even, you know, I have the Tokina 11 to 16. That's my DX.
I have that lens. That's an amazing little lens.
It's a great little lens. A lot of flare, but otherwise really happy with it.
It's a little soft in the corners for me, but I that was like my first real lens when I got my, you know, when I started using F mount stuff. I was like, you know, I had a 70 to 300 DX, and I had a 18 to 55, and I was like, I want something wide and fast, and that was the lens I got.
You know, that is now my ultra wide Z50 lens. Of course, it's manual focus. Now, is yours? Do you have the one with the gold lettering that does not use a screwdriver, or mine's the silver lettering that does use screwdriver?
No, mine's the newer one, but there's now a newer one. So yeah, mine's the gold.
New.
It's got the clutch on it, so like when you where the focus ring is, when you want to go into manual focus, you got to pull
pop
the ring
it in
back.
and out.
Yeah,
that's the way mine is. But on the Z50, it stays in manual. It works. I took some of those North Chickamauga Creek pictures were with that lens. That's the longest video in the world. 25 minutes of me and Heather on North Chickamauga Creek. I like that picture. It's cool. What's next?
It's already up.
Oh.
If you're watching Discord, you would have seen it.
Well, I do in Discord see it, but I see a box on top of it. So
yeah, I can't go. If I go off the box, then you'll see the desktop.
Yeah. So now I can see it. Cute little girl with a flower. I like it. With the 70 to 200 2.8 at ISO 900, which also makes me think that is probably automatic ISO. Nothing wrong with that. I use automatic ISO on the regular. It's very backlit and no lens flare, so that's nice.
Good job, yeah. That's an excellent photo. I love that picture. Phil's gonna like the next one.
Oh yeah, he's gonna love it.
And so is Bass Angler.
Yep, that's a really good picture.
Can't wait to see it.
It's already up, man.
Well, I can see a third of it.
That's a beautiful raptor photo.
Oh, I think Heather can see it already. She's making faces. I wonder, I don't know if that's a Cooper's or a Sharp Shinned, but it's one of those two.
I was going to say it's a Cooper's Hawk.
Yeah, the Coopers and the Sharp Shinned look virtually the same. Smarter birds than me can tell the difference. But, you know, and it's an adult one. The juveniles don't look that way at all. But it's beautiful. Beautiful.
Interesting.
Beautiful photo.
I'm going to tell you something that blew my mind the other day about these raptors.
Holy crap! He shot that with a 200. Sorry to interrupt, but that's pretty freaking close with a 200. Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm going to need 500 and a teleconverter to get that shot, and probably a DX sensor, which he's on a DX sensor. Really nice. Sorry, go ahead, David. I apologize.
I was driving off Sand Mountain. It was probably last Sunday, and I was almost to the foot of the mountain. When you go down Sand Mountain, it goes, if you come off the way I do, it comes down to a horseshoe curve switchback, and there's a road called White Oak Gap meets it there. Then you go down to another switchback where there used to be a feed store, now it's a wedding venue. And then you go down to the foot of the mountain, and at the very bottom, it goes around about a 9-degree turn and peels out into the valley. Well, just before I get to that turn to break off into the valley, these two crows fly out over the road. And I look up out of the window, and a bald eagle, I have never seen one in the wild, swoops down into the road and flies over my truck, and them two crows are hot on his heels trying to catch him like they do the red-tailed hawks. But it was a daggone bald eagle, white head, the whole 9 yards, big as it goes. I've never seen one in the wild, and he is at the foot of Sand Mountain, flying along the mountain.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
They're
when did they turn them loose around here?
They're wild animals. They do migrate around. Yeah.
They go where they want.
But they don't go to Sand Mountain.
Yeah, they do.
Well, you can't say that anymore. Obviously, one went to Sand Mountain.
How close are you to the Tennessee River?
It's on the other side of Sand Mountain in the valley.
Yeah,
So it's probably 20 miles.
Like I've seen one on 7th Street in downtown Chattanooga. Looked up and seen one flying around. Yeah, they're around here, brother.
No, I have never seen one in the wild in person. I've seen photos of them and videos, but never in person. I've seen the golden eagles, the brown ones. I've seen them. And ospreys, I've seen
what
them.
You were actually probably seeing was a bald eagle juvenile.
You think so?
You got way, like exponentially more chance of seeing a juvenile bald eagle than you do a golden eagle. And they don't they don't get the white head and the white tail until like their 4th and 5th year. Before that, they look like a golden eagle. Yeah.
Because they released golden eagles on Pigeon Mountain a number of years ago, so we all assumed that's what they were when you see them.
Yeah. Raccoon Mountain, there's been some golden eagles spotted up there.
Yeah.
Like near the pump storage facility, the TVA pump storage facility. Mm-hmm. But usually what you'll see if you're seeing an eagle that's brown is a juvenile bald. And you cross your fingers and hope they make it to adulthood.
Yeah. James Oliver says there's a bald eagle nesting spot on the Highland Lakes chain here in Central Texas. They do photo tours. Nice. Woody's got eagles in his neighborhood. Yeah, Bass Angler said 5 years before the whitehead. Interesting.
Okay, Bass Angler. I need to bring my Wolfgang and come see you. Where are you at? Arkansas?
Yeah.
He's in Arkansas.
He's out next to Oklahoma and Fort Smith.
That's a long drive. Tennessee's not very tall, but it's wide.
Yeah. It's a long way just to the western edge of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have literally went through my list.
Ooh.
Do y'all guys have anything? We have been live for an hour and a half already.
So let's talk more about what we're doing with this. What are we? Are we gonna have pictures for next week's live stream, or is there a time limit? When are we?
Yeah, we need to have them. We need to have them next week. Do something creative with it. Don't just go out and snap a photo of a flower in the front yard and call it good.
That's not a very good flower lens. The minimum focus distance isn't good.
I got another can of Spam. I'm pretty sure I can come up with a Spam picture again.
Spam.
Creative lighting goes a long way. A nice speed light and a gel, and you've got creative lighting. I get to have a new speed light because
my see the famous kitty.
Oh, look at that guy.
There is the Rebel Alliance kitty. She is here.
Bass Angler told you to bring the wolf. and y'all can crank 5150 and blow the windows out.
Yeah. All right, Cat, you are released. Do what you do. Go scratch stuff and tear up furniture.
My cat lives outside. All five of them.
See, you're still here. Look, she won't go away. All right. Well, I've enjoyed it, and I guess we'll present. I may send you 2 or 3, or maybe 1 photo with this combination.
Nice.
Oh, that's what. Okay, that's what Phil was talking about. Dave was talking about doing the cell phone camera thing.
Well, the cell phone is the challenge for the channel for everybody.
Yeah.
Yes, the project is that. No, we've got this internal thing with the Z6 and the 105 f2.5 between the 3 of us because we all 3 have that setup, and we all 3 love those pieces of equipment. So I think we should all 3 do something interesting next week with that.
That's Aaron's idea, and I like it. And you know, anybody else watching who has this setup, the 105 2.5 FTZ and Z6.
I'm not using the FTZ adapter, by the way.
Well, you don't have to use
what are you gonna do? Hold it in front of the camera?
Adapter you like.
No, I actually bought a Nikon F to Z adapter, the dumb adapter, because it doesn't have the stupid foot on it.
Oh, it don't have the tripod foot.
No, it don't have the foot, so it's a little bit more ergonomic to actually hold it and take a picture with my AIS lens. So I bought that adapter just for my AIS lenses.
Fair enough. Whatever adapter you want to use, just as long as it's this lens and this. And I mean, I think it could be. This is probably the newest. The AIS is probably the newest, but any 105 2.5 should be.
Yeah, optically they should be about the same. The coatings may be a little different. Heck, I think optically maybe even the D version is the same. I could be wrong.
Yeah, it might have the same optical formula. I don't remember. It's entirely plausible though, because that one actually hits a home run. It's a very good lens.
Yeah, mine was originally I got it. It was like virtually brand new. And I guess
yours is a lot newer.
Well, mine was
based on the serial number.
Well, mine wasn't even used for on a camera. It was used with like some sort of like CCD setup, and they were used at toll plazas for getting license plates going through. Yeah. So I mean,
that's cool. Yeah, yours is in the millions. Mine and Dave's are in the 900,000s on the serial number.
Yeah, ours is pretty close to the same manufacture date, isn't it?
I would think so. I mean, if we had your lens handy, I looked at it on your review of it, which was really good, by the way.
Oh, there we go. Savante is chiming in on that one about the different optical formulas for that particular focal length.
Nice.
Yeah, there's supposed to be like a couple of different optical formulas to the older one.
Nice.
But anyway,
I know that all of them perform,
as long as it's a Nikkor 105 2.5, then and you use the Z6, then send your pictures in. I mean, I know that kind of limit, but also definitely send in your iPhone photos or cell phone photos. But,
and okay, let's do this with the cell phone. Just send one, because we could easily pump in 200 photos with cell phones really quickly. So let's just send one a piece of the cell phone, everybody, and I'll put that out on the channel as a post, and I'll even throw a video together for that over the next day or so.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt to put your name in the file name too.
Yeah, that would be a big help, because I have to download them all and then save as and add the person's name to the file name. So if you could go ahead and do that, it'd be a huge help. It makes things go a lot faster.
Yeah, well, if you notice that when I did
it all. Go, Phil.
Oh, what? Hey.
Well, we should Geico tap out.
All right. But yeah, I'm gonna throw together a small video, so there'll be some more coming. But I appreciate you guys watching, and this has been amazing. These live streams are just incredible. You guys make it so much fun, and Aaron and Phil they just make this thing great. You guys are awesome. I appreciate your time.
Good times.
Yeah. Yes. So until next time, shoot. find my stream button. There we go. Get your camera out and go take a picture with it and use the hashtag GeicoTap, just like he said. Stick it on there. Eventually, we'll figure out how we're going to do something with that, and we'll start using it. But I've been trying to find it and like photos, and it's really been, I've been seeing a lot of usage in it. So appreciate it, and we'll talk to y'all later. Take care. Bye-bye.
Have a good night.